There, that was a good step. Look how shiny his mane is.
There he goes.
Don't bring that towards me.
Yeah, we did that a couple times yesterday.
So it's just about balancing. For Phantom, it's just about balancing the ability to whack him and pet him at just the right intervals, you know? But make sure that if you do whack him, you whack him with that kind of intention, okay? So that he's really crazy about being black and white, this guy. And the more black and white, the less trouble you'll get.
Yeah, so I can see that this is a real balance for the person, a real balance between getting in the sweet spot so that they go sideways and balance that between the going forward and the backing up and blocking either of those maneuvers.
Correct. And what I encourage you to imagine is that your belly button is tied right here.
Okay.
And anytime it's out of line, it gets pulled on. Okay? So as if I had a piece of rope that was tied here into my belly button, and this is all the further away I could get. Okay? You know, because this is the position you need to be in to make that front end movement. And you have to imagine you're walking right underneath his neck towards his other shoulder. Towards this point of his shoulder on the other side. So in that position, you're in the sweet spot. And it's the balance of putting yourself there, keeping rhythm. Oh, I so cheated. Sorry. Yeah, it's you that has to step first.
Yeah, that was good.
That if his butt is moving, it's because his shoulder isn't.
Right.
So you put more pressure on his shoulder, not on his head. See, the common mistake is we put more pressure on his head to correct the back end coming actually at me. Instead, actually touch and push on the shoulder itself.
Okay.
So it's the balance of what happens because we're facing the head. We have a tendency to just think about the head itself. So we get it twisted all the way around. Okay? Keep this in mind. It's actually the shoulder you're moving.
Yeah, because if you crank their head all the way around to the other side, they almost have to move their butt.
They have to, because you basically flex them into the position that their shoulder is locked. Okay? So when you're working on it, what I want you to concentrate more on, yes, your position is underneath the throat latch. Okay? Your belly button is. But what you are moving is this body part.
Okay.
So if this body part is not moving, your feet can't move. Does that make sense? When this body part moves, when this steps away from you, then you get to step into it.
Okay.
Don't step into the head, step into the shoulder.
Right, because you essentially want them to do this in a
fixed position.
Yeah, so it's like this, not kind of cranked around.
Correct.
So that they would go ultimately with a fairly straight body.
Correct. And if you can transfer the thought into what you would have to do if you were riding him and you wanted a spin pivoting move, correct? You want him to pivot basically on that hind foot. If he's pivoting correctly when you're riding him, to have any speed or momentum. Now, I'm not going to scramble your brains because there's two different distinctions there, okay? But if he's pivoting on his right hind foot, then it frees up his left-hand shoulder to cross very nicely and smoothly, okay? And if you're on his back, basically, you have to put a lot of, you have to put foot pressure here or here. depending upon his level of knowledge. To start out, you would start out here to exaggerate, and eventually you want the cue to be right here with your foot. The thing that that transfers both on the ground and in the saddle is the movement has to come from the shoulder. The head position has little to nothing to do with it. The head could actually be turned this way, as long as this shoulder is moving that way. Okay? So again, on the ground, when you're using your stick, concentrate more on the pressure being towards his shoulder than on his head. Does that help? And it helps him sort it out.
Yeah.
It also keeps you in the correct position. If you notice, if you're thinking about it, his shoulder that you're working on, you stay more in the sweet spot. Okay?
Yeah.
When you start to concentrate on the head and just your body position, that's when you end up out here in front, and that's when he ends up backing up. It'll be a natural position. The minute your belly button passes about his eyeball, he's just going to give you a backup move. Likewise, if all you do is fall back to here, see how you're just going to get a rear end.